Money, 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 money. We all want it, but rarely do know how to actually get it. Especially as a freelancer when there's hourly, monthly, weekly, value-based pricing. There's so many rates that we don't even know how to choose one. But I'm here to tell you that for me, and maybe for you, value-based pricing is the best way to go. Let's get into why. So for context, ever since I started freelancing about 2 years ago, I have never ever charged based on the time I put into a project because it's just not relevant. Let me tell you, I perform a service for a company. I produce a product, whether it be a logo, a landing page design, landing page development, consulting services. That has an inherent value because the client pays me a specific amount for my services. And because they pay me a specific amount, it must also mean that that service is worth more to them than what they pay. So they pay this amount and they generate more money with it. Now, because of that, I also charge based on those parameters. Variables. And that's the exact same thinking I have for my services. I charge a specific amount that to me is worth more than the time I put into it. So if I put in 8 hours a workday, then I charge based on what I think is worth more in terms of monetary value than 8 hours. Now, I realize I'm in a bit of a unique situation because most freelancers, especially new ones, charge fixed ones based on time. So hourly or daily rates, let's say. The reason I don't like that is because it doesn't reflect the value that you're providing. A very good example of this is a few months back, maybe even a year, I designed and developed a landing page for a local startup. And that work took me, let's say, 5 hours. It was a relatively simple deliverable. And the client was super happy. We ended on very good terms. Now, I did not charge my hourly rate times 5. I set a fixed price based on an imaginary number. This imaginary number comes usually from the company size, what I want to be compensated as, with what I just want to be compensated, what I need to be compensated, and if I feel like the company has available to spend on this project. So I combine all of those different variables into one value-based price. And this can result in a big win for you or a big loss for you. But that's why it's important to really calculate these different variables and come to a conclusive price that takes into account all the different potential issues that may arise along the road. And so this project was very profitable for me, but other times the exact opposite has happened and I charged way too low for what ended up being the final scope. So it's a bit of a give and take situation sometimes. And that leads me to a common fear that I see a lot of freelancers have about value-based pricing. Whenever I talk about fixed or value-based pricing online, most people respond to me, okay, but so what do you base this price on? You must base it on like an hourly or time-based kind of variable. So you take time, X amount you want to be paid equals the final price that you quote the client. And that's not the case at all. Usually, and this stays between me and you, don't tell my clients, the numbers I charge are more or less pulled from thin air. And shh, don't tell my clients this. But of course, I do take into account like subcontracting fees and external like service and product fees that I may have to pay as a result of this project. When it comes down to it, it is an imaginary number that doesn't necessarily have any connection to a real tangible asset. It's typically just, okay, this company I think has this range of budget available. I want to be paid this. I need the salary this month. Let's put this final number. That's usually how it goes. And people often claim that, isn't that a bit immoral? Honestly, no. And the reason why is because if you're charging based on your time, you're effectively saying that, okay, I am not incentivized at all to finish this project quickly, but I am incentivized to take as long as possible to finish it, because in the end, I get paid more because I spend more time on it. That does not necessarily result in a better product, but it does result in more money. So that's effectively what you're saying to your client, that your time is worth more than than the value you're providing to the client. And if you flip the script and you say, okay, I'm charging value-based pricing, then first of all, you're incentivized to finish the project quick, which is good for the client. And you're also saying that, okay, the value I'm providing to you as a beloved and dear client is worth more than the time I put into it. The time is not even part of the equation. Okay, so you've wrapped your head around value-based pricing or fixed-based pricing. Now it's time to talk to the client. A very common question I get from clients who are not used to value or fixed pricing is that they ask, okay, why aren't you charging hourly? Shouldn't this only take like 10 hours, let's say? And the reason they want that is because it typically results in a lower price. And my standard response to that question is that, okay, well, if I charge hourly prices, then that's simply not enough to make sure that I provide you with a quality service. And it actively discourages me from finishing this project on time and in a timely manner. But what I want to make sure is that you, the client, is provided with the best possible final product. And you shouldn't even have to think about how much time I put into it. You already have plenty enough to think about, so let's not think about my time as well. And that typically resolves any kind of concerns they had with hourly versus fixed or value-based pricing. And all of a sudden they're happy dandy and thumbs up. Overall, pricing as a freelancer can be such a tricky topic, and in the end of the day, there's no real answer. I mean, I do this, it may be completely wrong for you, but it could be perfect for you as well. We never know. And each person, each client, each service provider, each country, each location, each situation is so unique that there just can't be one single answer. For me, this works. I hope it does for you. Try implementing it and let me know how it goes. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.